Howdy everybody, it's Chris Ward with the CBT Nugget series on ITIL Foundations, and today's Nugget is going to be talking about three of the other functions that are part of service operations, and that is going to be, of course, your technical management, your IT operations, and application management. Now, if you haven't noticed today, I'm kind of a little bit brand conscious today. I've got my Starbucks hat on, and I've got my Spice World from the Spiceworks group shirt on, and there's a reason why I wore them today. Partly because they're kind of cool and I like wearing them, but secondly, because both Starbucks and Spiceworks provide services to their customers. Now, Spiceworks provides things like your inventory controls, your monitoring, and your all kinds of really cool tools that you can use in your IT infrastructure. Starbucks, well, they just supply lots of coffee and caffeine, which I partake of quite a bit. But both of these very large companies are going to need something to help keep service operations in play for their end users. They're going to need the IT infrastructure. They're going to need facilities. They're going to need, well, anyway, let me tell you all about it in today's Nugget. So far, we've already taken a look at a very important portion of our service operations, and that's the service desk function. And don't forget, the service desk is that one point of contact where your end users, your customers, can come to find out information, get support, deal with issues that they might have. By the way, if I didn't remember to tell you about this in that previous nugget, there is also something that is now really coming up, and you might see on occasion in the small wallet room, the deal with self-help service desk functionality. And what that means is essentially you don't have to have a human being to give help to somebody. They can do things like an automated phone service where you press 1 to find out the latest means of getting your password reset, or press 3 and it will send an email out to somebody to get some help on this, or, oh, hey, here on the website is where you can go and find the latest and greatest technique for doing something, and that doesn't require human intervention. So don't forget that that is also something which I believe they'll probably add more of into the next rendition of the ITIL service library, or I should say the IT infrastructure library, which is ITIL. Then, of course, we're going to take a look today at these three and finish up our functions with a look at technical management, IT operations, and application management. We know that processes are all great, right? We all always need processes, and we're going to cover a few of them in service operations, but processes alone are not going to keep everything running. That's why we've already talked about our service desk, right? That's one of the functions, so let's remind ourselves that there is that fourth that we have here on our list. The service desk is that single point of contact, remember, where your users go, help, I need to be able to access something, or help, I've blown up my computer, what do I do next? And so the service desk is going to help with that. And that's kind of something that a lot of us know and recognize, at least I do as an IT guy, is like, oh, hey, I need some help with something, I call the service desk. Or in the case at CBT Nuggets, poor Jake Rolfe, hey, Jake, I need this. Hey, Kurt Engel, I need this. And they're very helpful, and they help me get what I need, right? But there's also, in large enterprise environments, there are some other areas that we need to be aware of, especially for the small wallet room. Technical management. Now, according to the ITIL Service Operation Book, the technical management gives you the detailed information and the technical skills needed to support the operation of your services, that IT infrastructure. Now, what they do is they help plan, implement, and maintain the stable infrastructure. Remember, all of this is to support the operations business process. So think about it. This is going to be the teams that help provide the technical expertise and the management of your infrastructure. These are people that are typically the higher end people that aren't at the service desk level, because service desk people are gonna, that's where you start off as the first help desk Tech 1, right? That's your entry level, and you probably have a script that you can run from on basic things like getting passwords reset or restoring somebody's files by using a backup or thing like that. But what happens when someone says, my call quality isn't all that great? I'm on my Skype for Business call here, or my Skype for Business, and things are looking all weird. Well, at a help desk, service desk capability, that's a little bit too much for them, and so they're going to roll up to maybe your communications group, and so they're going to be running the the Skype for Business, right? And so you'll go to that group, and they have the technical know-how to support making sure that hey, you know what? Maybe our networking infrastructure the quality of service isn't up to snuff, and we need to make some fixes and something like that. But see, that's going to be a very technical area, and technical management is going to handle that because you want to maintain that stable technical infrastructure, right? And the way that you do that is make sure that you have the topologies in place, you have the technical skills. This is where you would go and make sure that you have highly trained individuals in that particular area. Then the next one that we need to look at is, of course, IT operations management right here. Now, this is where you define the department, the group, or team of people responsible performing those day-to-day operational activities. And this is where you go, Chris. That sounds like a lot what you just said over there in the technical management. Well, no, not really. If you think about it, this is going to be where you set up the performance standards that are designed during service design, and you are going to want to make sure that you put the people in the appropriate groups to handle the technical management. So this is I would almost say the management of the operations, and then the technical management are the details about that particular group, where this is the infrastructure folks, these are the networking guys, these are the Skype for Business, the Unified Communications group. And so you do that with two groups. There's two subgroups here. The first is IT operations control. And then the next one is going to be facilities management. Facilities management, think about that. It's kind of like the buildings. Think of the stuff. This is the physical IT environment. This is usually your data center. This is your NOC, your network operations center, that is operating all your switches and your routers and your servers and handling everything. And a lot of times, this is where your technical and application management would be co-located within the facility. So you have your technical management and your application management, and they all kind of roll up over into here into the facilities. And then the next group, of course, is the IT operations control. Now, this is the operators. These are the staff that make sure that all the operational tasks are carried out. These are the ones that are going to be doing the monitoring. They're going to run maybe some sniffing on the wire and check to see, make sure that the packets and the quality of service and everything is working in the networking world. These are the ones that are going to make sure that the databases have being backed up and that they're healthy, and that the connections between some of your storage and your virtual machines, that everything's working well. Or hey, maybe it's time to move and do some maintenance on a server. That's going to be your IT operations control group, and they are all handled underneath the IT operations management. And that's, remember, they're just going to define those people in order to do those day-to-day operations. And then we can't forget, of course, our application management. Now, they work with the technical management group to make sure that all the knowledge required to design, test, and manage the IT services is there for all these resources to actually use. You're going to be managing all the applications within their life cycle, and that is going to be everything from an operating system like Windows Server 2012 R2 or maybe Linux. It could be some of your virtual environments, whether you're using Hyper-V or whether you're using VMware. It could be some of your not only Cisco hardware, but some of the applications that ride on top of the hardware. And you want to make sure that once you've got these services or these operating systems in place, that they are working together with all of your equipment and all of your technical groups in order to help provide those services. And by the way, the application management function is not only going to be talking about operational applications, things that keep your company working, but they're also going to help you form part of those IT services that you are going to then offer to your end user. And so altogether, these three functions, along with the service desk, are going to make sure that you have a stable balance of service operation. It's not just doing the repetitive stuff. It's not just, okay, check this box and check this box. All the functions, the processes, and activities are all designed to work together because we want to have a specified and agreed level of services that we're going to give to our customers, right? We've agreed with our end users and our customers that we're going to provide you this service. And if you are unable to maintain your technical management group through your IT operations management along with your applications, it's not going to work. You need to be able to give these things, or I should say, you need to be able to stay on top of these things to provide that stable environment. Because remember, in one of the first nuggets in the overview of service operations, I talked about how it's a balance between your internal IT versus the external business view, because that can be a conflict between those, right? The external view of IT is that's what your external users are looking at things and customers, and they don't understand, or they don't really want to even know about the details of the technology that is behind the scenes. But yet your internal view of IT is all about your network and all about your virtual machines and all about making sure that everything is up and running and your CTO is happy. But see, if you don't get a good balance between the two, your operations, your service operations will fail. It's just the bottom line, which is why we need to keep all these things in mind. So there you go. That's the final look at our functions there. We have the service desk, technical management, IT operations management with its two subgroups, and then our application management. I hope this has been informative for you, and I'd like to thank you for viewing.